Shadow Productions logo is why wait for an opportunity when you can create it.
Hey Brendan.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming in and chatting with me today.
Very welcome.
So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So my name's Brendan Byrne. I'm an actor and filmmaker from Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, and basically 21 years old. I got into doing some extra work on film sets and TV shows, and found a bit of a passion for it, and just delved straight into it. Started doing extras, and then obviously got into more supporting roles. And then moved up to leads, so sort of gained a bit more confidence and experience. Moved into the leads, shorts and features, and just basically started my own production company in 2011, Shadow Productions, and started creating my own content and films that way. So, yeah.
Now, I'm really excited to hear about your process with I'm Here Too. So this was a short film that you wrote, directed, produced, acted in. Am I missing anything?
No, I think that's about it.
And it got quite a bit of, recognition.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how the idea came about, and I guess the process from the idea to a final film.
Yeah, so I'm Here Too is based on teen suicide prevention. It's surrounded around Claire, who is played by Carol Elsden, who's your regular teenage girl. What we try to do a little bit different, obviously, with this film is to show that depression doesn't discriminate. It can, affect anyone. And so a lot of the time you see the person being bullied or picked on and things like that sort of become depressed. But depression to a lot of people, Carol or Claire in the film, she has the perfect little life. She's got all, perfect family, perfect friends, all this sort of stuff, and she still suffers in silence. So it was sort of to try to break the stigma, I guess, of depression and mental illness as a whole. So obviously being a very taboo topic, we have to do it right, do it a lot of justice. So the cast and crew that I had come on board, people that I'd worked with previously or that I knew were capable of doing the film justice, and there was an opportunity to work with them in this capacity. So basically from start to finish, it had about 10 rewrites all up, and completely changed. The ending changed as well. We didn't want to glorify or romanticise suicide in any way, so we had to make it raw and real and quite create that impact and an emotion that a lot of people say that they get from it. So I think we've done our job there. So, yeah.
And how did you go about directing and acting in such an emotional...
Yeah, well, for me it was quite difficult to start with, obviously, because it is quite an emotional topic. Being the writer, I created your different relationships with certain people. Myself and Carol, obviously, wrote Claire and created the character, so I had one sort of relationship there, and then as a director with Carol as the actress, and then as another relationship being Claire's father on screen. So it was quite emotional for me. So to be able to pull away from, wearing the director's hat and being able to throw myself emotionally into the role as the father, for certain emotional scenes, I had to bring Marissa Kale, who's my co-director for the film, and she obviously had trusted her a lot with the film and knowing the direction it needed to go in, and so I was able to hand the reins over to her directing it. So had a huge support network at home, obviously, my wife and sort of family and friends, being able to let me concentrate wholeheartedly on this film, and being able to give it the time that it actually needed to be done right.
So how did you find all your crew and cast?
So a lot of the crew and cast I'd worked with previously on other film sets, creating content and being on other film sets as an actor and as crew over the years. I've met a lot of really decent people, and obviously hone their crafts and things like that. So I was able to call upon these guys and show them the script. Said, this is what I want to do. This is the topic I want to cover, and show them the script. And I didn't have one person actually say, no, I don't want to be involved with it. Every single person that read the script, it reiterated what they probably had previously thought about it. It needs to be done. It's a topic that needs to be covered in the right way as well. Just basically people I wanted to work with that I knew were capable, people that I had worked with previously that I knew were capable. So you had a really good cast and crew, and I think the film's only done so well because of the amount of passion and emotion that the cast and crew did put into it. So, yeah, I get a lot of credit for it, being obviously writing it, directing it, and producing it as well. But I hate to be that person to take the credit, because there's no way one person can do the whole thing. So every single cast member and crew member on set, they all play their vital role, and that's why the film is so good. So without their passion and emotion, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So.
Did you have funding for this, or was it a low budget film?
No, it was just an indie film. We shot ourselves and basically funded it out of my back pocket. A couple of the other crew members, put in some dollars here and there and gave me discounts on obviously their rates and stuff, which was quite helpful. But yeah, basically it was just started out a passion project. A lot of people came on board and offered their services for free as well, or for, like I said, low rates. And I think that's why we were able to shoot it, because we had high quality cast and crew that didn't ask to be paid a lot because of what it stood for. So yeah, it was pretty good.
And what about your distribution plan? Was that something you had in mind before making the film, or did you make the film and then try to figure it out?
Yeah, so distribution, originally the concept that we had in mind was to put it into schools, obviously being teen suicide prevention. We wanted to put it into high schools and all that. So I pitched it to the Department of Education, and after not hearing anything back from them quite a few times, started shutting down, being a little bit more aggressive with it, and started chasing down high schools myself and going and meeting with the principals and giving them copies of the film and asking for if we could have screenings at their schools and things. And out of the 10 that we approached, I think there was about 7 that said they loved the film, but it was a little bit too confronting for their students. So the issue there is they're actually dealing with it in real life. These boys and girls are actually dealing with it in high schools. So that's confronting enough when your friend is going through depression or contemplating suicide and things. So that's the issue with the taboo topic, is it's hard to distribute. A lot of people don't like to feel the way this film makes people feel. Makes you question a lot of things, and pulls you out of your perfect little bubble that we create for ourselves. So it was hard for distribution. So we decided, after coming across a lot of obstacles in the way, and we decided to just distribute it ourselves on Vimeo originally, and it was a pay-per-view option. And then we had a bit of a think about it and thought, it's not about money for us, this film. It was about the message that needed to be conveyed. So we decided to put it up on YouTube ourselves, and since doing that, we've had 114,000 views at the moment. So yeah, it's over 700 comments, people commenting saying this little film that we decided to create, and in 3 days we shot the film, has saved people's lives. They've actually commented saying this has saved my life. So that's pretty massive for us.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the point of films in the end, isn't
it? Yeah. I think as a filmmaker, whether you're a writer, director, actor, producer, whatever, I think you have a certain responsibility and a platform to be able to put a message out there that can be conveyed in a stronger light to people. Open up the topic of conversation, saying, it is a taboo topic. People don't like to talk about it, but it's also a reality of a lot of people. And if we saw a little bit more of it, it might become less taboo, and people will be a bit more opening to talking about it. So that's what message we're trying to convey anyway, and say that it can happen to anyone. And I think we've done that.
Yeah. And you also did the festival circuit rounds?
Yes, yeah, we put it through the festival circuit. We've had about 20 nominations so far, that consisting of Best Film, Best International Film, Best Actor and Best Actress mainly. And we've got, I think there's about 10 wins under our belt at the moment. So there's about 12 more to go. So by the end of this year, the festival circuit will be over. We'll know exactly what we've done there. So
yeah,
that's really good feedback.
So let's talk about your next project, which is very different to your last one.
Yeah.
Talk about Paving Blood. What's it about, and what stage are you at?
So Paving Blood is a new age horror film based around the social media aspect to it. So it's basically like Unfriended meets Friday the 13th, so to speak. So you got a bit of a slasher, thriller, horror genre, mix of genres there. Basically concentrates on the social media aspect of, today's faux reality, I guess, of social media. People, trolling other people online, not really understanding the full impact it has on other people. So once again, it's an underlying message there, but done in a bit more of an entertaining way, rather than obviously I'm Here Too is an emotional impactful sort of way. So here it's done in a bit more of a lots of comedy to it as well. There's a comedic aspect to it. With horror, I don't think you can take it too seriously, especially slashers. You've got to have, it's a particular genre, so you've got to have a lot of fun with it as well. So, it's shoot ready. The script's done. It's ready to go. We've got a lot of cast and crew already attached to it, so it's pretty exciting. A lot of interest from it. Got Instagram and did a concept trailer for some investors, put that up online on YouTube. Did a crowdfunding pitch for it as well. It was actually doing really well online as well. Indiegogo on Kickstarter, went a little bit through that. So we're still at the investment phase, which is obviously classified as development stage, although a lot of stuff is ready to go. We just need the money to shoot it. So we're speaking to a lot of investors and trying to get grants and things like that at the moment.
So what hats are you wearing in this film?
So obviously writing, wrote the script, and basically just acting. So got a couple of directors on board and a directing team there, and you can have a producer on board as well. So I'll be able to take those hats off and concentrate wholeheartedly on the acting for this one.
Well, I've got a curious question for you. If you had to choose only one thing, directing, producing, acting, writing, which one would you choose?
Acting. Yeah, easy. Obviously, acting's where my passion lies. Directing, producing, writing sort of became a bit of a necessity to get the roles that I wanted. A lot of the roles I was going for originally, it was the same thing. I was getting typecasted originally. So changing images and stuff like that, creating certain roles. Shadow Wars Productions logo is why wait for an opportunity when you can create it. So I sort of thought to myself, I'm going to start creating my own roles to showcase what I'm capable of as an actor. So I think I have a lot of passion for the other roles as well. But if I had to only choose one, it would definitely be acting.
So it's 2019. The industry has obviously changed, and there's more that actors can be doing now for their career, such as what you are doing. What tips do you have for actors who want to follow in your footsteps but haven't started yet?
Number one tip is just do it. Yeah, without a doubt. The amount that I learned being on film sets, putting myself out there, creating films, making films, networking, creating relationships in the industry. It's more than you can get from any class or sitting in the classroom listening to a teacher speak about it. I think the life experience is probably the biggest aspect there. So if you've got an idea, put it down and actually do it. Don't expect the world from it. Be open to constructive criticism about it. Your first film's never going to be, very rarely is it your first film ever a masterpiece. So another tip would be you need to be a little bit obsessed to succeed. I'm a strong believer in that. So, dedication, hard work, you need to be slightly obsessed in order to really succeed and put all your time and effort into one thing to really, really succeed. You talk to any person that is successful, they've told you at some point they had to become obsessed with that to push it to the next level. So, I'm honestly a big believer in that. Find what your craft is and become obsessed with it. Throw your whole self into it. And you will become successful.
So what's next for you?
So next, basically, myself and a few other actors and filmmakers, we get together and we're sort of collaborating on a skit channel for YouTube. So we're going to be doing skits and parodies and some comedic stuff and things like that. So just obviously in today's era, you've got to be putting yourself out there constantly. Being an actor and filmmaker, social media is huge. So you need that following as well. So, in order other than just doing, just films, or we sort of decided that we're going to put ourselves out there, make a lot of content and sort of put ourselves out there on and do something that we love as well. It's constantly honing our skills and our craft. So yeah, we're doing a skit channel, going to be on YouTube soon, and we'll start film very shortly. So it's a way of us to also work together, continue to network as well, and bring other people on board and sort of grow that aspect as well. So
sounds exciting.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for coming in and chatting with me.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see your future work.
Thank you.